Alright, hey review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And this video is inspired by a comment I got from someone on a recent video of mine, Jack, the dude with the awesome cattle decapitation profile picture, and I thought that I would make it an entire video topic as it's a question that I have been asked routinely, just in different ways. And I'm going to title this video, How Do I Get Into Extreme Metal? But it's going to be a little broader than that. Let me read you this comment real quick. So, Jack said, "Hey there, man, I love your enthusiasm and descriptions of the music you review. I literally just decided I wanted to try and start getting into black metal grindcore today, and there's only one problem/issue I have, the vocals. Is there any way to get used to it? Because it's just so bizarre, it's really hard to see myself getting into it." And I think this is an issue a lot of metalheads encounter at different points, is everyone kind of has their own little niche and micro section of the metal community that they frequent. Even if you like every single form of metal on planet Earth, you still have a preference. So it's not uncommon for people to not necessarily know how to step into other genres, because for those of you that watched my most recent video explaining all metal genres and subgenres, it's overwhelming. It's daunting to just have dozens upon dozens upon dozens of subgenres, all with different sounds, different cultures, different identities, different sound techniques, different vocal types. And what Jack says here isn't uncommon for people to go through, and that is not knowing how to transition into other genres, but wanting to appreciate them or get into it. So in this video, what I want to do is just kind of get the ball rolling for people that are both not acclimated with any sort of extreme metal genres, and then also people that maybe like a specific type of genre and don't know how to get into others. So basically, okay, Jack here is saying that he doesn't really enjoy the vocals of black metal and grindcore and doesn't know how to transition into liking them. Well, one thing I will say is I notice you have a cattle decapitation profile picture, and they're a death grind band. So when you have enjoyed cattle decapitation in the past or now, you have enjoyed to some degree grindcore music, and Travis Ryan, if anything, is one of the most black metal inspired death grind vocalists, with all sorts of pitch shifted screeches and different, well, not pitch shifted, but just insane shrieks and growls and different sort of vocal techniques. And what my advice would be to people that want to go into another style of metal but don't particularly know how would be start with something that is familiar to the music that you already enjoy and try to translate that into whatever genre you are wanting to get into. One amazing thing about metal is a lot of times you can find micro genres within every genre that might appeal to you. So for example, if you like the instrumentation of black metal and you want something that sounds like black metal, but maybe you're not entirely behind how raw it sounds or how the vocals are just so just off the beaten path and shrieked and heavy, maybe try an atmospheric black metal band. And it really is a pick and choose, because there are hundreds upon thousands of atmospheric black metal bands that still retain the normal vocal style that is present in other black metal. But if you go into it, let's say you enjoy death metal, maybe try some blackened death metal before you go straight into black metal. If you enjoy death metal and want to get into grindcore, listen to death grind bands like Benighted and Cattle Decapitation. And you're going to find that the things that you like about these bands can be influenced by the things you're not necessarily familiar with yet. You just don't know it because it's not as in your face and sort of front and center as it would be amongst those records. Now, to people that are looking to get into extreme metal just as a whole and don't know exactly where to start, the same logic can be applied. Whatever you enjoy in music, whatever you like in music, whether that be hip-hop, folk, pop music, rock music, electronic music, music as a whole has a binding formula that can be applied to all sorts of metal genres. And that's the great thing about metal music, is there's always something that can be applied to whatever genre you like. So let's say in pop music, you maybe like the more extreme electronic, glitchy pop of, say, PC Music Camp, like Sophie, Charlie XCX, or like the experimental pop absurdity of like Arca. You could maybe put that to use by getting yourself into progressive metal or technical death metal or something that is very glitch oriented, or even an electronic metal band like I See Stars or Crossfade or The Browning. Or if maybe you like something that is more slow and dreamy and psychedelic, maybe you're a fan of like My Bloody Valentine and some of Flying Lotus's beat work, or just R&B in general. Maybe you could apply that and enjoy atmospheric metal. Like post metal would be an amazing place to start, like Ian DiHalda or Explosions in the Sky or Godspeed You Black Emperor. These things can be applied to metal as a whole, and it's not necessarily a thing of metal is so far removed from anything musically that it can't be enjoyed. Because if you like your music really slow and atmospheric and broody, maybe you would like doom metal or funeral doom metal, because the pacing and atmosphere speaks to you. We all look for different things in music, but metal can apply to so many different other genres that you can enjoy. But to circle back to sort of my advice for Jack here, and to anyone else that maybe enjoys a certain type of metal but just cannot get behind another genre but wants to appreciate it, try to find linking factors with bands you currently like, so that when you go into those genres, it's not as jarring, it's not as surprising or difficult to ascertain or wrap your head around. Because if you're a fan of hardened death metal or brutal death metal, you might find that if you found some blackened death metal genres, you might start seeing those influences that are in black metal come through, especially if you're dealing with the right band, like maybe Ackercock would be a good place to start. You could translate that to where when you go into black metal, you are going to find that you're going to hear some of the things that you maybe liked on that blackened death metal band. And I hope that kind of makes sense to my overall point, which is, don't just thrust yourself directly into something that you don't like, or you don't know how to digest, or you don't particularly like the vocals of, or the instrumentation of. Because if you're not used to something like grindcore, which is a very insulated, idiosyncratic genre, it's going to be very difficult for you to not only understand, but find an appreciation for that genre, because everything you're used to is so diametrically opposed. But the amazing thing about metal is, because there's so many crossover bands that dabble in multiple genres at once and have this hybrid, cross-genre appeal, it's not hard to find bands that might combine a style you do like with a style you're not that familiar with. So that would be my advice to anyone that's looking to get into extreme metal, is to, as a rule of thumb, apply the things you already know you like and take that into another genre. Because chances are you can find whatever you like in music but put to a metal effect. And I hope that makes some sense, and I hope that potentially helped you out, Jack. And if you need any band recommendations or have a specific type of genre that you like, I could potentially help you out finding some bands that would be up your alley. But thank you guys for watching this video. What are your thoughts of this topic? Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.